we are doing Christianity wrong. That is my contention. Right off the bat, do you have any thoughts about that?
I don't know. You just tell me what you think.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, so let me say this. My contention, my belief, and I know I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek saying we are doing Christianity wrong, and there's a specific reason, but I'm going to hold off saying the specific reason for a bit. What do you think about that? Do you have any thoughts about that? Have you even thought about that, really?
I don't know. Maybe a lot of it just people being judgmental of other people. That's what turns a lot of people off from Christianity.
The church is so divided. This person goes to that church, that person goes to this church. I think as believers, we should all be able to come together and not have any like separating lines. And I know we'll go to church tomorrow, go on Sunday, and put our face on and do all that kind of stuff. But it's just, I'm seriously tired of it. I know it's been 2,000 years, but it's drug out for way too long. This is where I'm coming from. And if you have any views on that, what I've said so far, go ahead.
I mean, people are just going to want to go where they want to go. Like, there can't be one physical church. There has to be different churches. And even if we did it pretty much all the same, I like this preacher better, I like this songs better. A lot of that's just what it is. There's not that much difference except what they prefer. And
I'm saying this because I think Jesus prayed that we would all be one, that we would be unified. All right, this is Paul writing in 1 Corinthians to a church that definitely had some troubles. Out of all the churches, they seemed like to be the one that had the most troubles. But one of the problems that he calls out is division. In 1 Corinthians verse 10, he says, Paul writes, "Now I exhort you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that you all agree and that there be no divisions among you, but that you may be made complete in the same mind and in the same judgment. For I have been informed concerning you, my brethren, by Chloe's people, that there are quarrels among you. Now I mean this, that each one of you is saying, I am of Paul, and I of Apollos, and I of Cephas, and I of Christ. Has Christ been divided? Paul was not crucified for you, was he? Or were you baptized in the name of Paul? I thank God that I baptized none of you except Crispus and Gaius, so that no one would say you were baptized in my name." And he goes on. To me, that perfectly defines Christianity today. Like, way more drawn out, way more blown out to proportions of infinite magnitude. I get fiery. I'm not going to try.
I don't think after reading that's not what we're doing at all. They're saying, this group of people is following Peter, or this one's following someone else. We're not doing that. We're all these different churches are following Christ. Mm-hmm. It's just how you do church and where you do church and how you sing and where you, I don't know.
But to me, it perfectly defines it because the Catholic churches says, like, it seems like they are, I am of Peter. It seems like that is like a exact representation of that, because that is like their claim to fame, that I am of Peter, and
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like their bedrock, their foundation. And I've went back and forth with Catholics. I've wanted to become Catholic at times, and just because I'm so drawn to it, I'm definitely, and I've voiced it to you many times that but it's not like that. It's like almost, I'm tired of just the division. I'm tired of people going there on Sunday or you going this on Sunday, and because it has become what color carpet you like or you don't like, and I'll go to this church, or this church plays this type of music, so I'll go there. But like the main divisions in Christianity are Protestantism, Catholics, and like Orthodox. Those are like kind of like the three fundamental like dividers. But it's like, so if we can bring down that, why can't it just be we're the church in Missouri, or we're the church in Texas, we're the church in America, we're the church.
Where do you draw the line? Well, why is it on state lines? Why can't it just be one? Like there has to be multiple churches.
But like
I think everyone kind of says like the body of Christ. We know we go to different churches, but we're all part of one. It's just practicality says you have to go to different churches.
See, you're a voice of reason. I'm a voice of extremism. So, and I like that. I love that. You balance me, Jesse. You balance me. But like it, all right. So I wanted, like, there's so many things I wanted to go into and just talk about and just bring up because I'm not going to just like fall over and just say, yeah, that's right, because I am very passionate about that. I don't think we should have that. What do you?
So in a perfect world, what do you want to see? One big massive church that we all travel to in Missouri?
Yeah. Or I mean, in cities, but it's like or whatever your closest. Like, I mean, it started off with houses. You know, we were a part of the same like group. It wasn't like, but it seems like there's groups over here, groups over there. You know, and I think this is one of the points that drove Joseph Smith, you know, to do what he did, because he wrestled with this same thing, and then he created the New Church of Mormon. You know, and the
Okay, well, back up to the houses or the churches in the houses. Their houses were tiny. They had multiple services in multiple houses. They're not all meeting together.
But I think it's almost a rethinking of church completely. It's like they had a service, you know. I don't think it was so much more life together. We were just reading about this in the book of Acts. Like they're selling everything and they're completely just getting together. And I almost think everyone why did it stop at that point? Why did it stop in the book of Acts that the church was doing that? Why? And I'm not saying everybody needs to sell everything, but like as in seriously life together, not just come here on Sunday, come here on Wednesday, come here on whatever day of the week and do like events, but like seriously life together. And I think it's almost.
But people always say that, but what does that mean? What does that mean?
I think it's just it's tough against our culture, because in America it's all individualism, it's personal property, it's all that, and it's.
So, but what does that mean to do life together? Like we have people over all constantly, or
just live together. That's what I like.
I don't want to. I live in my own house.
I know. I get what you're saying, but it's just, to me, it becomes so superficial. And I know I'm hardcore extremism, and I'm so like radical in my thinking. And I know that most people don't think like that. But I know I'm being very loose with saying that we're doing Christianity wrong. But I seriously think, like, in a sense, I think we are. And I would strongly say that we are doing it wrong because of the factions, the segments of Christianity that we've just accepted. We just think this is the way it's been. This is the way it's always been. Jews and Gentiles. That was in the first century. That was the dividing line, the barrier that broke down. And like, it seems like we put that barrier back up. You know, I'm fine with there being I'm Russian Christian, or I'm American Christian, or you know, like I that's almost how I would say it. It's like almost a nation by nation. You know, like it was almost that's how I see it. You know, like, but we're still one body. You know, I know you.
Because
talk me off the ledge. Talk me off the ledge, Jesse.
Then why would you even say that? Like,
say what?
The nations. Like, we're all one. There's not even that really. I don't think this is going to happen until we get to heaven. We're all on the same page. People are just naturally going to divide and distribute themselves where they kind of fit in.
But I don't like that. I don't like where you fit in, you know? That's almost that cliquish kind of where I fit in, you know, where it feels like home, you know, find your tribe, all that. You know what I'm talking about? Like I'm serious. Like that is like, we are one people, you know, that is God's like glory is bringing enemies together. Enemies, you know, like people that are divided together, you know, and it's like in each, I'd say if you live in a city, I think the divider maybe should be cities. If we want to say anything, we should say as in one city, you go there. That should be that. And that's what I would say. Not like cities.
Okay. But they're even in a town like Platte City, there's multiple churches. We can't build one huge church.
Why not? And where did building churches come in? Where did building churches come on the table?
People to get together than just one little teeny shack house.
I get it. I get it. I mean, that's how like.
And then when you get big mega churches, then your community kind of goes away. You're just a number. You're cattle.
You're just a number, and it's I know I'm not gonna. I was about to say I know I'm not gonna win this battle, but like I almost want to kind of at least start a spark to actually put us to do that. You know, I really am seriously, because I know I'm not, this isn't a novel idea. This isn't something I just made up. People have tried to do that. And you could say that they've done it in wrong ways, but like, I'm like serious, like let's bring it all down, you know? And it's like, because when one church is saying we're the one true church, that's when everything kind of just doesn't function properly, you know? It's like,
who's saying that?
well,
Like as far as religions or just like churches?
I mean,
Christian churches?
you would say like being, and I would say this, I don't consider myself Protestant. I don't consider myself evangelical. I don't consider myself messianic or any of those things or any part of it, you know? I wouldn't like say I'm Catholic. I wouldn't say I'm Orthodox. I follow Christ. You know, I'm like, maybe I'm in that camp that Paul is speaking directly to. He says, and you says, I'm of Christ. You know, maybe I'm that guy and I'm in the wrong there.
I don't think if you talk to anybody in any church, like, who do you follow? Jesus, different, you know?
But why does Paul make that nuance? Why does he say?
Back then they had those, they did think that, and we don't think that now. But
it's like, but Paul is like almost trying to tear that down as them. They're already saying some people are over there that I'm of Cephas, I'm of Paul, I'm of Apollos, you know, he's already like, he's seeing that kind of happen. And it's like just way more extrapolated in church history, you know, now I'm of Luther, I'm of Calvin, I'm of Wesley, I'm of, you know, St. Thomas Aquinas or Augustine, you know, that's like, it's just, we're doing the same things throughout history, way more like, that's what it started there. And he's like saying, squelch it. He's saying, squelch it, stop it. And those seeds happen and they blossomed out to huge mustard trees. Is that the thing? Mustard trees? Didn't Jesus said that's the biggest tree? I don't know. Yeah. I always say I don't know, but in a way I feel like I do know. In a way I feel like I am confident in what I'm saying. But I'm definitely not going to say what I think is absolutely correct. I'm completely open to being corrected, you know?
Corrupted.
I know I don't want to be open to be corrupted, but corrected. But all right.
I get where you're coming from, but I don't know.
There's a lot of different things I want to talk about, like the things that are dividing people. You know, we could boil it down to, you know, a few sacraments, you know, and then the main dividers, and like even calling it a sacrament might be throwing gasoline on the fire or something. I don't know. To me, it's like these issues. Like, I think that the dividing lines should be like maybe like our having right Christology, having right understanding of who Jesus is. Like, I would say almost that is the like kind of where that's almost like the thing, the issue, you know, like, and because I wouldn't even say like different like modes of salvation, the instrumental causes that make someone saved, like what make like that even almost shouldn't be a dividing line. I think the dividing line should be views and understanding on Jesus. Like that to me, that's like, because you could say baptism, you could say like the Lord's Supper, which a lot of people would say, but like to me, those aren't things that are the main issues. Those aren't like, I'd say like we shouldn't have like, we should say "c'est la vie" to someone that doesn't have a right understanding of Christ, but just to kind of steer them back into the right direction, you know, like because you can't like shake hands with someone that's spreading a false Jesus. That's what I would say. But like your views on sola scriptura, like the Bible alone, you know, and that's kind of like a dividing line between Protestants and Catholics. To me, that doesn't need to be a dividing line, you know. Like but what do you think? What do you think? I should almost say what you think.
That's a tricky one.
Why do you say that?
Because the Bible says, Bible alone, nothing, don't take it away, don't add to it. It's pretty straightforward.
But like, I mean, even those verses, like you could say like that's, I'm not saying, I believe in like the Bible, the 66 books of the Bible, that is the only God-breathed, inspired word of God. That's my views. You could say like a lot of the church, for most of the church history, has believed in accepting the Apocrypha. That's like been in most Bibles, you know, but even like, but it was almost a second canonical version of the Bible. Even like they understood that there was like, this is really inspired, but this is kind of inspired and it belongs in that. But you think that is a dividing line?
I don't know.
I think a lot about this. A lot of Christians, you know, most Christians, we're just doing our thing. We're going and doing it the best we can. But like, is it the way we should be doing it? You know, that's what
What else is there? We're just doing the best you can. Is what do you think you should be doing?
I know, because I know this isn't like, this is more like just I want to almost bring it up because see what other people are thinking, see what like you are thinking, because it doesn't need to always go on like this, you know. Because I think if I sat in a room with 20 other Christians, I would be the oddball. I'm definitely the oddball, and I understand that. I'm the guy that, people...
Rocks the boat.
Yeah, and
It's not that crazy. I mean, it's a nice thought. It's not totally off the wall.
it is to me.
It is to me.
So I know because you've just grown up in a Baptist household. I don't know. Just are people like, I'm hardcore. This is the way it is. This is how it's got to be.
No, because I think we both, when people ask us where do you go to church, we say, oh, we go to a Baptist church. But I mean, we kind of almost downplay it. Whatever it is. I mean, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
I just rather say I'm a Christian. I happen to go to this church.
Yeah.
But I've been to this church and that church.
Yeah. It's
because you don't want to, I don't know, alienate someone just where you go to church. Because there's this stupid the Baptists, they don't do this or that. Oh, the Methodists, or there's just what's it called, stereotypes with each one.
Oh yeah, yeah. You think churches almost become like a business? It's just become a business itself. It's an enterprise to get your numbers up, get your baptisms up. Or what do you think?
I mean, maybe, but isn't that a good thing? But if those people are really being converted and changed, that's a good thing. It's really sad. We've been to churches that are just what the heck? There's a baptism? We haven't had one in 25 years.
Yeah.
It almost seems like it's dead, but it's not thriving if you're not, people aren't being brought to the Lord. That's the main thing. But I can see how it just depends on their heart of who's saying whatever.
I guess it's the best we got. I think maybe that's what it is. Just the best that it is. And I'm living in I'm wanting the kingdom now mentality. I'm seeing into the future the way it's going to be. Why can't it be that now? Why did we just settle? I guess that's the point. Why are we settling for this? Why are we just accepting it, the status quo? Why isn't there a drive to bring all Christians together? Why is it?
I mean, there's some things that all the churches are getting together and we're going to have church on the courthouse lawn or something. That's happened before, It's it's great. But it's just not practical sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's well, we're all getting together. Who's going to preach?
So what do you think the things are that divide people? Are they substantial issues? Or are they kind of just things that don't really matter, but it's just kind of, it feels good,
I think just how you've been brought up. Like you said, the Lord's Supper, we only do it once a quarter. And that church does it every week. Or this one sprinkles and this one immerses. Is it really, like you said, if they have put Jesus on, where he's supposed to be, that should be all that matters.
Yeah. I guess, this could kind of lead into I've been very confused in my days about baptism. I guess in confused, I'm kind of not really confused. It's just I bounce back and forth. I have a strong desire for certain things to happen a certain way. I want I'd like our children to get baptized. I'm almost on that side where I think I wish if they were born and if they're born in a Christian household, baptize them. But then most people are no, wait till they're a believer's baptism. But what do you think?
Well, what does it gain to baptize a baby, I guess?
I'd say it's almost a part of the new covenant, that they are, you're saying they're a part of, they're under a Christian household, they got that over them, it's kind of circumcision was in the old covenant, it's the new covenant is baptism is the sign, and babies were circumcised, just you know what I mean? So I just think it transfers over to that, but
it's not to salvation or anything.
No, I don't think it's to salvation,
Because
but
babies will go anyway.
I would rather have our child baptized. Just I would feel more comfortable with that, But that's just me. That's just me. But I know what you're saying, because I don't think baptism saves anyone. I don't think. I guess I've always struggled with that. We definitely have went through our issues in I am more, what is the word? What's that thing? Scrupulous or whatever, scrupulosity. And I struggle with that, OCD and, just get paranoid, over certain things. But in full disclosure, I was baptized 3 times in my life. So I guess that maybe not the best to go to for baptismal advice, but
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, some people they rededicate their life, or there's a new phase of life and they want to mark it by this special thing.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But if you're doing it over and over just to make sure you're saved, like that's...
Yeah, and it becomes like a formula. You have to say the right formula and do it the right way, or it's not real, or it doesn't count, you know? And then, but like, there's different parts of the church, like, that's why I wish it was just so, we were all closed in, you know, as, you know, I know in God's eyes, in God's invisible church, he sees all Christians out there, and we are his, you know, he's got us, the Lord knows those who are his, you know, that's what it says. But like, I want that now. I want us all to be closed in, and we can maybe go back and forth and like, I think we should be baptizing, but we don't need to divide over that. You know, it's like, I think we should be baptizing. Like if you're a Christian, you know, you have a child and you want to baptize them, it's because the baptism is the sign, you know, it's not saving you. It's that even like if you become a Christian and I believe completely that trusting in Jesus is the sole thing that saves someone. Believing in Jesus, but I just feel more comfortable having a child, like your child baptized, like it's just like they're a part of it, you know, already, even though they don't know, they're a part of it, you know. It's not, we don't need to just, are they gonna believe, you know? It's like
but we don't know, even if they are baptized as a baby, that doesn't.
But we take a form of that in dedication, you know. We kind of like say, we kind of just take that, but like almost baptism light, infant baptism light, you know. That's kind of what we do it, and like, which I think is great, you know. And I have, you know,
Are you talking about the baby dedication?
Yeah, baby dedication. It's kind of become like, it's just that version of it, but just in a lesser. I mean, what do you think about all this? Like, it's
a good thought, but I mean, realistically, practically, it's not going to happen. We're going to go to our same churches we've gone to.
Status quo, accepting the status quo, you know.
But it's not. I don't think it's all that bad.
I honestly, I don't think it's bad, but it's like almost like it's,
you want more unity.
I want more unity. That's like, I seriously want that. I don't want our parents going to different churches than us. I want us all to go to one church. I think that this is completely the way that we should go, that we should, as the church, the worldwide church, be going together, you know. Let's get on board, get on the same page. Let bygones be bygones. You know, let's bury the hatchet. I guess I would say this, like, for all the different churches that are out there, like, for me, I think a lot of churches got a lot of things right, some more right than others. I think there's things that the Catholic Church has got more right than, you know, the Protestant churches, but I think there's some things that the Protestant churches got more right than the Catholics. I think we all have bits and pieces, and it's like, why can't we just all come together and just kind of hash it out, kind of thing?
That's probably what the holy wars were fought over. It's like, we can't. People aren't capable, I don't think. They want what they want, and they're going to find the right one they want to go to. It's always going to be like that, I think.
You think?
Because you can't have one church that's like, okay, are we going to have chairs or pews? Are we going to have Sunday school? Are we going to have worship, like hymns or pianos or guitars, or, you know, people are always going to like one thing or another, and they're either just going to stop going because you can't squish it all together. I think it's better that more people are getting reached with a church. They're finding Jesus with a band. They're finding Jesus with an organ. You know, that's the main thing.
I think a lot of, like, throughout church history, like, there's been like early on, there was definitely division. Like, we think that the church was always this one kind of uniform entity that just throughout history, and then it kind of got split at the first split, which is in like 1091 or something like that, with the Catholic Church and then the Orthodox Church. That was when that happened, whatever that, it was around that time. But even before that, if you really look into it, there was a lot of different segments of Christianity. And I guess maybe if there is one church, that's almost why things can get completely corrupted, because things can go to people's head, maybe. But I think it's not a matter of just one church. I think we should be one church, but maybe not just have one top authority. Why? Like, our authority is Christ, you know? Like, there doesn't need to be...
Who's the top authority, though?
Christ, Jesus.
Who do you think is instead of that?
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Like, well, I mean, the Catholic Church says it's the Pope is the authority, and the church is the authority, like, as in, like, that, you know? But I mean, I'm okay with saying the church is the authority, you know? If we're all together on the same page, but maybe not lifting one person up to having.
But I know, but that's the thing. If you have one huge church in our town, there's going to be one pastor, and he's going to get elevated.
But even that, I don't think there should be one pastor. It's not. That's not the way the early church was put. It was the elders. There was.
All right, but still, they're going to. Anyway, okay. So when I was growing up, we had a church split, and it was really nasty. There was a lot of bad blood, but it came out of it 2 thriving churches now. So one is like really big, and there's in that town now, and there's a lot more people being reached. So really, it's better. Otherwise, there would have just been this one little, one smaller church that are only going to reach so many people. Now there's 2. Like they actually built this huge church. It's not that far away.
I know what you're saying. And like, so you think it turned out like, do you think it was good or just turned out good? Like, I mean,
no, it was good. I mean, we fought over something dumb, but we're like, we can't be together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot function. It was really uncomfortable. I was even a kid. I could feel like the tension just going to church was awful. And then people left, they split, and they made another church, and now it's huge. It's great. But I think both sides would think that's a good thing. We all say that that's a good thing that came out of it.
I want splitting off the table. I want it off the table.
It's multiplying, though.
I want merging together.
That's not practical.
I want it.
You can't have it until we get to heaven.
I want it.
No.
And I will. I'm not going to.
In spirit, we all are one church. We just physically can't all be together. It's not practical. You can't do it. There's too many people. Back in the Jesus day, there was like, a couple thousand. That was it.
I mean, they met in houses because like, they weren't the ruling like the power. They had to like almost underground churches like that. But it's like even churches across the world and countries, like they go and underground and they have to be secret church and all that.
I think it's this utopian thing you're thinking about. It's only going to be accomplished in heaven.
I'm going to die on this hill.
Okay.
I will die.
All right.
Just bury me and remember me. Remember me. Remember that I fought for something.
All right.
The main thing is tell people about Christ. But it's like...
And what is the best way to do that? You find a place where they know somebody, or where they do like worship music. Oh, they like hymns. Like that, you reach the people where they're at.
I know, but it's just perpetuating this same thing that we just like, we're just continuing to just kick the can down the road and all that, it doesn't need
you say that, but then on the other side, Matt's like, oh, they just need Jesus. Well, like, how are they going to get that the best?
And maybe it's just, it doesn't need to happen. Maybe what I'm thinking doesn't need to happen. Maybe, and this is just the way it is. But I struggle with that because Jesus says, I pray that they may be one and united,
In mind and spirit, but not physically.
But we aren't in mind and spirit. Like we're
pretty much.
But we'll
Jesus is the main thing. I think we can, what do they say? Debate, but not divide over these things. Like, I don't think we're really divided over it. We just, we can't all be together anyway, so let's just go with people who think like this about the little things. Mm-hmm. Even though it really doesn't matter. We know that. It's all about Jesus. I think that's what everybody's thinking. All
right, so let me ask you, I guess, a couple things. Like, what do you think? Is there anything like we should divide over? What is your view on that?
Who Jesus is?
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I know. This could go on, and there's so many things, but it's like I wish get it all. Just toss it all out. Let's just kumbaya, baby, kumbaya. Let's come together. Anything? Did you have anything else, Jesse?
No.
I am sorry. I was overly heated, and I apologize for that. I do. But
you have just this fantasy of what, like, we're still going to be, we have to talk about those other things. People are just going to naturally migrate to what the little things, even though we're united in the main thing. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's okay.
We disagree on this. And I'm not like, I disagree. What are your views? What do you all think? Did I do a poor job of explaining it, or are you on my side? What do you all think? Put it in the comments. Let me know how right I am or how wrong I sound. I don't know, but
I don't think you're wrong. I just don't think it's Practical. It's not going to happen.
It will happen. It will happen.
It will happen. Yeah. In heaven, it will happen.
I think before heaven, I think the Gentiles are going to come together, all together, and then Israel's going to believe in Christ, and then we're all going to come together, even before Christ returns.
What does that mean? You're just saying all together.
We don't say that I'm of this, I'm of that. You know, we
don't. We say we're of Christ, but I go to this church, I go to that church.
No, you
might
say,
be closer to me. I like this pastor better. I like
this will go on and on. This will go on and on. I will beat it to second death. I don't know. So we'll leave it at that. I hope you all have gained something from this. I hope this has made you think about it, and maybe I hope I've convinced you. I'm right. I am right. I am right. I'm right. All right. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see y'all in the next one.
So we hold on and enjoy the ride. After all the ups and downs, this is our time. Enjoy the ride.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Your support means the world to me, and it helps keep the content coming. Until next time, stay blessed and keep shining.